Shalom, everyone, and welcome again to From Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power with yours truly, Didi Cooper. This is a wonderful, beautiful day that the Most High has made for us, and I'm hoping that you are rejoicing and that you are glad in this phenomenal day. I pray that you are experiencing the unconditional, unwavering, steadfast love of the Most High on today, and that His favor is overtaking you as we look forward to the rest of the week. This is such a phenomenal time in Yahweh, and I'm praying that you are experiencing this phenomenal, awesome power of Yah in your life on today. Before we get started, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome those of you who have not done so as of yet to subscribe to this channel, and to also invite those whom you believe will be blessed by this information to subscribe as well. Also, feel free to like, comment, and share these videos with those who you believe will be blessed by this information. Also, you can join us on our Facebook page. We are on Facebook. We have an interactive page by the same name, From Pain to Passion, Purpose, and Power. And this is an interactive page in which I pose questions. I respond to you. We interact with each other there. We share testimonies, because the Word of Yah tells us that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. So definitely feel free to join us there. Also, I welcome your comments on this forum on YouTube. I respond to all of the comments. Also, we're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. I'm a blogger on blogger.com, and I will be doing more blogging on that forum. And also, there is an upcoming podcast that will be coming forth really soon, and I will be keeping you posted on that, so that we will continue to share the information that the Most High has given us on every forum that He has given us to share this information on. Yahweh is good, and He loves us so much, and He wants us to continue to ascend on this journey from pain all the way to power. Hallelujah. Now, we've been discussing self-esteem, and in essence, we are talking about things that will hinder our ascent from that pain of place of pain or trauma to passion for the Most High, to walk in our divine purpose, because each and every one of us has been given a purpose by Yahweh, and that we will walk in that purpose endowed with His power. And so one of the things that will hinder or deter us is our thoughts. We're talking a lot about our thoughts, and self-esteem is just that. Self-esteem is derived from your thoughts about yourself. And these thoughts have absolutely nothing to do with anyone else's opinions or anyone else's thoughts about you. This is the value that you place upon yourself. And so this is very critical and crucial in our journey or our ascension as we go from glory to glory and from faith to faith, as the word talks about in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 17 and 18. Now, this is so important because self-esteem plays a role in every aspect of our lives. It determines whether we do or how we ascend and how we progress in this journey called life. Now, I took the time to define self-esteem, and it's been a little bit since I've been with you. I wasn't with you on last week. I was on vacation celebrating my birthday, and so we're back today. So let's just backtrack and redefine what self-esteem is, because it's really quite simple. Self-esteem, in essence, is the general opinion that you have of yourself. It is how you evaluate or appraise your self-worth. Self-esteem is also defined as how much a person loves or appreciates themselves, regardless of any situation or circumstance. Now, as we've discussed in earlier videos, we know that traumatic experiences, painful experiences can affect the way we think. It can affect the way that we think about ourselves. It can affect the way that we interact with people in any given situation. So self-esteem is how much you really love and appreciate and value yourself. Self-esteem is your own self-appraisal. And you know, if you're in real estate or if you have jewelry and you've taken it to a jeweler to have it appraised, well, that appraiser places a value on that object or on the house, how much it's worth. So self-esteem is your own self-appraisal of your own worth. What valuation do you give yourself? Is it a high valuation? Is it mediocre? Is it inflated? What is the value that you place on you? You can't ascend any higher than your own thoughts of yourself. What you think about yourself determines how high, how low, or if you move at all in this journey. Now, I shared a couple of quotes with you. These two are my favorite quotes talking about our thoughts and how we think about ourselves. And one of the quotes is from a gentleman that you may be familiar with. His name is Mahatma Gandhi. And Mahatma Gandhi says that a man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks is what he will eventually become. So now do you understand how vitally important it is to have healthy thoughts about yourself? The word of Yah tells us in Proverbs 23:7, it says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's the B part of that verse. And the Hebrew translation of that word heart is lev, and it simply means your mind. So then let's requote that scripture then. As a man thinketh in his mind, then so is he. If you think that you're an overcomer, you will become an overcomer. However, if you think that you're defeated, that is what you will become. Your life will then manifest your thoughts. Why? Because what you think will eventually come out of your mouth, and what comes out of your mouth is eventually the actions that will be carried out. Understanding how important thoughts are. Another quote is from a psychologist in the early 20th century. He wrote a book called As a Man Thinketh, and his name is James Allen. And he says that a man or a person is literally what he or she thinks. His character or her character being the complete sum of his thoughts. So what you're thinking about yourself will definitely determine whether or not you will ascend in this journey or stay stagnant. It's a choice. It's a decision. I said in my previous video that if you change your thoughts, you can literally change your life. Your thinking affects every aspect of your life. Not just your interactions with other people, but how do you handle your family life? How do you handle your finances? How would you develop your relationship with the Most High? How do you manage and handle your relationships, your marriages, your relationships with your children, your co-workers? Your thoughts affect every area of your life. Understanding how important it is to have a healthy mindset. So then begin to align your thoughts with Yahweh's word. The word of Yah tells us over in Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, that we are to be renewed. Our mind is to be renewed by the word of the Most High. Yahweh's word contains every solution, that's the word, for every area in your life. Whatever it is, there is a solution in the word of Yahweh. This is why it is so vitally important to renew your mind every day by the word of Yah. Over in Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 23, the word of Yah says for us to be renewed in the spirit of our mind. Your mind is spirit. Your mind is not the same as the brain. Your brain is tangible. If someone were to cut open the top part of your head, your brain will be exposed. But no one can see visibly your thoughts. The only one who can see your thoughts and who knows your thoughts, even from afar off, is the Most High. He is the only one who discerns our thoughts. And the Hebrews tells us that he is a discerner of the very intents of our thoughts. Your thoughts are not seen or manifested until you speak it out and you act it out. Can you understand why it is so important to have a healthy mindset? Now, this is a perpetual task, beloved. This is not something that we can just do one time, because we are constantly being bombarded with thoughts. My apostle taught a lesson, and she said that researchers say that the average person has over 70,000 thoughts per day. That's a lot of thinking. So we're constantly being bombarded with thoughts. So any thought that is negative and that goes against what the Most High has already prescribed in his word, according to 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, verses 3 through 6, we're to cast down those thoughts and those imaginations that exalt themselves above the knowledge of Yeshua, or that exalt themselves above the word. If it is not positive, according to Philippians 4 and 8, where the Apostle Paul gives us those things which to think about, those things that are pure, lovely, good, just, of a good report. If there are any virtue or any praise in those thoughts, then those are the things that we are to think about. So that tells us that anything that goes against that, those are negative thoughts. And those are thoughts that we are to constantly purge and pull down and replace those thoughts with the thoughts that the Most High has for us, which are in his word. The word of Yah tells us for us to let this mind be in you, which was also in Yeshua HaMashiach, or Jesus Christ. We have to allow the thoughts of Yah, which are his word. Yahweh's word are his thoughts. If you want to know what Yahweh's thoughts are about you, get in the word. His word tells you what he thinks about you. He says in Jeremiah 29 and 11 that my thoughts toward you, they are of peace, they're not of evil, and they are to bring you to an expected end. He has only good thoughts towards us. So align your thoughts with Yahweh's word, and it's an ongoing process. Ongoing. It's perpetual. Now, I'm going to read Luke, the 6th chapter, verse 45. And this is Yeshua. This is Yeshua speaking. And the word of Yah reads, and I'm looking away because I'm actually looking at the scripture here. It says, and I'm in the King James Version, it says that a good man out of the good treasure of his heart, or out of the good treasure of his mind, brings forth that which is good. So if you're thinking good thoughts and you have good thoughts embedded in your mind, you're going to have good thoughts. Those are the things that you're going to bring forth. You're going to bring forth good fruit out of the good treasure, those good thoughts out of your mind. However, an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. So if your thoughts are evil, that is what you're going to manifest. For of the abundance of the heart, of the abundance of the mind, the mouth speaketh. Whatever your thoughts are in abundance, that is what's going to proceed out of your mouth. Proverbs tells us that we're snared by the words of our mouth. Your words are a manifestation of your thoughts. So if you want to change your speech, you must change your thoughts. What does this have to do with self-esteem? It has everything to do with self-esteem, because self-esteem is nothing more than your thoughts about yourself. A person with healthy self-esteem, out of their mouth will proceed healthy words. I am more than a conqueror. Now thanks be unto Yahweh. He always causes me to triumph in Yeshua. I am fearfully and I am wonderfully made. These are positive words spoken out of positive thoughts, because the word is there. However, if you have a person who is always speaking negatively, then that is the abundance of what's in his or her mind. They are speaking out of the treasure of their mind. Their thoughts are not healthy thoughts, so their words and many times their actions are not healthy actions, because it's a manifestation of their thought life or their thought processes. Now, we said also that self-esteem is a mindset. Self-esteem is a mindset. What is a mindset? A mindset is a collection of thoughts or beliefs that shape your thought process. And these thought patterns affect the way that you think. They affect your actions. They affect how you respond to any given situation. A person with a healthy mindset or healthy self-esteem in any situation they face, they can say, yeah, well, this may be happening on the outside, but it has nothing to do with who I am on the inside. Because I am made in the image and likeness of Yahweh. And He has not made any junk. So regardless of what you think or what you may say about me, it has nothing to do with how I feel about me. Because Yahweh loves me, I love me. However, you can take a person with low self-esteem and put them in the same situation, the same traumatic situation, and their words may line up and say something totally different. I must not be good enough. No one loves me. I'm too fat. I'm too this. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. Oh, only negative. Why? Because that's their thoughts. That's what's in their mind. Change your thoughts. Change your mind. Self-esteem. What and how you think about yourself. Now, Hebrews 12, 1 and 2 tells us that we are to lay aside every weight and every sin that doth so easily beset us. Right? Self-esteem, low self-esteem, can be a weight. It keeps you grounded because your thoughts, you're telling yourself what you can't do, what you can't accomplish. And it can be because of traumatic experiences, as oftentimes they are. Or it could be because someone else said something to you that has altered your mindset. Change your thoughts today. Change your life. Unhealthy self-esteem is a weight, and it keeps you from ascending to that next level. It keeps you grounded, and it keeps you from operating in the realms that the Most High wants to take you. My apostle always says, and I love it, she says, Yahweh is taking us somewhere. But the only way, in order for you to go where Yahweh wants to take you, you have to have a healthy mindset. Your thoughts have to change. You can't take stinking thinking and have a kingdom mindset. It doesn't work that way. You can't have stinking thinking and have a healthy self-esteem. It doesn't work that way. Change your thoughts. Change your life. The weights, these weights, we form them in our mind, our thoughts. Now, the APA, the American Psychological Association, says that there are 3 types of self-esteem. There is healthy self-esteem. There is low self-esteem, which we covered. And then there is inflated self-esteem. And from that inflated self-esteem, we get the term narcissism. And nowadays, we hear that word narcissism mentioned so much in our society. Narcissism. Narcissism is inflated self-esteem. Now, the word of Yah tells us in Romans chapter 12, verse 3, that we are not to think more highly of ourselves than we ought to. Now, the word did not say that we are not to think highly of ourselves. Yahweh thinks highly of us. Everything he created, he said that it was good. But when he formed man and he blew his life, his breath into his nostrils, his Zoe, he says, now this is very good. You're an original. You're like no other. So you're a good thing. We're not to think more highly of ourselves as we ought. Now, what is narcissism? We're going to give you a definition of narcissism, and then we're going to delve deeper into narcissism on our next video, because it is very important that we understand that inflated self-esteem is not healthy self-esteem. Let me say that again. Inflated self-esteem is not healthy self-esteem. Now let's define narcissism. And this is based upon the definition given by the Mayo Clinic. Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is one of several types of personality disorders. It is a mental condition. It is a mind condition. It is a thought condition, a thought disorder. Those are my additions. And it is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of self. They have an inflated sense of their own self-worth, their own self-importance. They have a deep need for excessive attention and admiration. They have troubled relationships and a lack of empathy for others. Now, just based upon that definition, that tells you that narcissism is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It is a mental disorder. It is a disorder of the mind. It is a disorder of thoughts. Now, behind the facade, because all of this self-grandiose thinking, this self-grandiosity, this inflated self-importance, this inflated self-worth, it's a facade. It's a mask. It's a put-on. It's an act. So a narcissistic person or a narcissist is not the person that they appear to be. Hear me now. On the outside, you have this grand, this extremely confident person. But on the inside, behind the mask, this is why the word tells us that man looks on the outward appearance, but the Most High looks at the heart. He sees what's in your thoughts. He sees your mind. He knows what you're thinking. So on the outside, this person appears to be larger than life. They have this grandiose opinion of themselves, and they seek excessive admiration from others. That tells you that that person is broken right there. Because if you have healthy self-esteem, you don't need the praise of others, because you know who you are according to who Yahweh made you to be. So on the outside, they have this mask of self-inflated, grandiose thinking, self-importance, grand self-importance. But behind the facade of this extreme confidence is a very fragile person with a very fragile self-esteem. And they are very vulnerable even to the slightest criticism. They take it as a severe blow to this person, a crack in the mask, because when they get criticized, what they're actually saying is, you're exposing the real me. You're not supposed to see the real me. I'm hidden behind this shield of grandiosity and extreme self-confidence. You're not supposed to see the broken, fragile person that I really am. Hear me. Behind the mask or the facade is a fragile self-esteem that is vulnerable to the slightest criticism. So in essence, narcissists really have low self-esteem. They have a low self-esteem. I hope that I've whetted your appetite. Join me next week, and we're going to take a deeper look into this. Now, I'm going to send out a disclaimer right here. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not here to diagnose people's disorders or anything of the sort. But what I am here to tell you is that no matter what you may be facing, whether it's low self-esteem, narcissistic personality disorder, any other type of pain, brokenness, fear, unbelief, anxiety, any of these things, what I am here to tell you is that according to Psalm 107, the 107th Psalm, verse 20, that the Most High says, I send my word to heal you and to deliver you out of all of your destructions, every destruction, every destructive thought pattern. The Most High is saying, I'm sending my word to you. Can a narcissist be healed? You absolutely better believe that he can. Yeshua took those stripes upon his back, and with those stripes contained every dis-ease and every abnormality that you can think of. And by those stripes, beloved, you were healed and you are healed. And if you have not recognized it yet, you can be healed. There's nothing too powerful or so powerful that the blood of Yeshua can't cleanse. Join me next week as we take a deeper look into inflated self-esteem or narcissism. We're going to go into the scriptures and give examples of narcissism. And then we're going to put the word to it so that you can receive your healing and walk from pain to passion to purpose, endowed with the Most High's power. Have a blessed week. I pray that the love of Yahweh will envelop you and that his favor goes before you this week and that you will experience miraculous breakthroughs in every area of your life. Until next time, Shalom, beloved.